Hello, everybody. This is Tiny Game King coming at you with another draft team talk. This is for the GLDL Season 4, and we are the coach of the Obsidian Cleavors. Um, I got really lucky and was able to jump in on this season. I really didn't think I was going to be able to due to issues in my life, but I was able to do it. And I think it's great that I got to come back to draft so quickly, and the draft that I got to come back to was the GLDL, since it was what started my draft career. Um, so we're gonna talk about um, what it is. It's VGC. It's not Series 2. It's Regulation D. I messed up. Put that there. But we had to draft 11 Mons in total. We picked 7 by tiers, and the ones we had to pick 1 tier 1, 1 tier 2, 2 tier 3s, 2 tier 4s, 1 tier 5, and then we got to pick 4 more Pokemon, but we could only get up to 150 points, so you couldn't go over that. So every tier 1 was worth 50 points, every tier 2 was worth 40, every tier 3 30, tier 4 20, and tier 5 was 10. Like most drafts, it was snake style, so you started at 1 and went to 14 for this one for us, and then 14 back to 1. And like I said, we had 14 people in this draft, and we got lucky enough to pick fourth. So I actually liked it, picking fourth. It gave me some options, I felt, and didn't make it seem like I had to pick like a Pokemon that everyone would thought would go first or second. Um, as you can see, when I did what I wanted in the draft, I wanted Cleavor. Other than that, I had no clue what I wanted and what I did, except for wanting to try Pokemon I've never used before. So in saying that, I could have waited, I'm sure, to pick our first Pokemon and got probably something different to start off that most people would think would go top 4, but I didn't. I decided to grab our mascot right then and there and picked up Cleavor in tier 2. And I'm happy with that. Like I said, I had no clue what I wanted instead of except for Cleavor. So why not pick Cleavor first and decide after that what I was doing? So Cleavor has great stats as in a total like a base stat of 500, which is not bad at all. It's like all the other, it's like Scyther and Scizor, they all have 500. So it makes sense that Cleavor would have 500 as well, since it's like I guess an evolution. I don't know if I'd count Scizor and Cleavor as evolutions, since they all have the same base stats. I'd say it's kind of more like a tree or like a tree evolution. So if that makes sense. But it has sheer force and sharpness, 2 great abilities. It has swarm, but I don't see ever really using swarm. Like maybe that could happen, but it seems like unlikely. Um, with base stats of 500, you know you're gonna get half decent stats. So we got 70 HP, 70 in special defense. Then we got 85 in speed, 95 in defense. Who cares about special attack? And 135 in attack. So 135, you put sheer force on it, that it's gonna hit hard. For any moves that have a secondary ability, we get rid of that secondary ability or secondary effect, and it pops up that move. Sharpness, any move that's considered a cutting move gets popped up with more attack. So Cleavor is going to hit, and he's going to hit hard. And the rock bug typing isn't that bad. Like, we got resistance to normal and poison only, but it's neutral to mostly everything else. And then we got water as a weakness, rock as a weakness, and steel as a weakness. So we do have to think of that, and I think by the end of this, I did really well with a type defenses, which I wasn't even trying to, but it just worked out really well. Second pick after that, like I said, I had no clue, so why not go for Palafin? It does really well in regular VGC, so I thought, hey, I want to try Palafin. It's a Pokemon I've always wanted to try. It has great base stats once it gets to its hero form. And like I said, I try to get close to 500 for my most times, and even its zero form has almost 500 with 457. So like, you can't go wrong with it. It has resistance to fire, water, ice, and steel, which is two of the things that I had to worry about with Cleavor, with it being weak to water and steel. So we just, with Palafin, got rid of two weaknesses from Cleavor, so we can switch into. And once it gets to its hero form, it's hitting extremely hard. 160 attack, like, that is just nuts. It has defensive 97, special defensive 87, and with an HP of 100 still, it's taking hits. And it's going to keep on going. Speed of 100, really good. If you can get that 100 speed, that's really nice, in my opinion. Special attack of 106, good. So I don't know, like, if Palafin has a decent special attack pool. I'm gonna have to look into it. Like I said, I picked up Mons not knowing what they do for me, as I had no clue how this draft was gonna go. So that was my tier 1 pick. So we got our tier 2 and our tier 1 so far. The next pick I picked up was another tier 2 with Kilowattrel. So because I was only able to have tier 2, this would have been this is our first Pokemon that used up some of our points. So we had 40 points used up, so left us with 80 from 150. Kilowattrel is a Pokemon, like I said, I've never used before, but I wanted to use. It is probably, other than Priority, probably one of the fastest. I don't remember what Noivern's speed tier is, but it's definitely one of the fastest, if not the fastest. Tailwind Setter has some amazing abilities, and another reason why I picked him up. We have Volt Absorb, so with Palafin we can switch it out and get in Kilowattrel maybe, and we'll save ourselves an electric attack into it. We'll absorb it instead of taking damage. It's a grass resistance for Palafin, so that helps us as well. If we switch it out and they used a grass type move, we're going to resist it. It has wind power, so that's always nice. And then competitive. And that helps us keep people not wanting to maybe bring Intimidate against us, because instead of lowering, we'll get our attack lowered, which we don't really care about, and our special attack's going to go up by 2 stages. It's not like we're a physical mon. We are a special attacker, so that's gonna help us, I think. HP with 70 and both defenses of 60. Not the greatest, not gonna lie. But I'm sure we can run some calcs to make it so we do live some hits. But it's definitely not the most uh, defensive Pokemon out there. But I think it's doable. We can work around that. Like I said, with the speed 125, we're pretty much going first all the time. And with the special attack of 105, we're going to hit pretty hard. So that's was the plan. And Kilowattrel helps us with the next Pokemon that I decided to pick up. So, pick 4. We'll also use some of our points. And I picked up Garchomp. So Garchomp is tier 1, so 50 points. So it left us with 30. I won't lie, at the beginning of this draft, I thought about the 150 points, and I was like, I really don't want to go top heavy with that point. I'd like to kind of like go kind of down the middle. So gave my 4 Mons that I could draft more potential to use. In saying that, I do think that the other 2 Pokemon I drafted, I did really well with the 30 points that I had left, and you guys will see that later on in this talk. But when it came to me and I was able to pick up Kilowattrel, and then it came back to me and Garchomp was still there, I was like, Garchomp is such a good mod. I don't think I've ever used it. I'd like to use it. Ground Dragon is not a bad typing. Like Dragon's always been a good typing. So with a base stat of 600, I was like, I want it. It gives us a fire resistant. It gives us a poison resistant. Gives us a rock resistant, which I don't think at this point we had any, and that just helps us. Now we have, it helps us with our Pokemon like Cleavor, and with the electric resistant, helps us with a weakness with Palafin as well. We do have a 4 times weakness to ice, so which 4 times weaknesses are never good, but I think we can work around that. Weakness to Dragon, Fairy, again, we can work around that, I think. But other than that, like it has really good stuff we can do with it. HP of 108, can't go wrong. Like that's a nice amount. Attack of 130, again, we're hitting hard with Garchomp. We got defense of 95 and special defense of 85. So with the HP of 108, we're gonna live some hits. We could probably even work it so we live some ice type attacks, even being 4 times weakness. But that's something I just gotta figure out myself. Special attack of 80 isn't too bad. I don't know Garchomp's special attack move pool. Like I said, I had no clue what I wanted when I did this draft. It was just pick stuff I've never used. So with an 80 special attack, I think that's usable. And if it does have something, maybe 1 week we decide to bring a special offensive Garchomp instead of a physical. So that was my plan. And it gives us our Disc Break mode. We got Kilowattrel and Garchomp. In my opinion, that I can think of, I can't think of a better Disc Quake mode. I could be wrong, and if someone wants to put down into comments what they think is a better mode, I would really appreciate it. And if anyone sees any holes that they think that I have in my team, put that down in the comments. I would really appreciate it. But in saying that, let's go down to pick 5. And pick 5, Tinkaton. Tinkaton gives us the ends of a Dragon, Steel, and Fairy Core with just 2 Mons. It's a Pokemon I've used before, yes. So this is, I think, the first Pokemon I've picked up that I've used. It's a tier 3, but I really wanted to fake out use it. And it was the best fake out user I could get. And if I didn't get it now, I know it was going to get taken from me. I've always been told. And I was like, okay, I need Tinkaton. It being Steel Fairy, like, you pretty much can't ask for better typing than Steel Fairy. Resists normal, grass, ice, has like poison does nothing to it. Dragon does nothing to it. Resists flying, psychic, bug. It's actually 4 times resistant to bug. For some reason, fairies resist bug. I still haven't figured that one out. Rock, it resists. Dark resists. And fairy resists. And it only having 2 weaknesses in ground and fire. We definitely can work around. Base total of 506, and like I said, I try to get around the 500 or over if possible. So this is I was really happy to pick up Tinkaton at my 5th pick. We got speed of 94, special defense of 105. So it can live some pretty good hits on the special defense. And 94, it's not the best speed tier. I don't really we're just under that 100 mark, so that kind of sucks, but still not bad. Special attack is 70s, usable probably. Attack in 75, which is probably going to be the main, Tinkaton. I don't know what its special move pool is. And 75 is not the greatest, but it can still get some hits in there. And with this HP of 85 and defense of 77, we can even still live on the defensive side if we get hit. Especially with us being resistant to so many stuff. I think it's going to be working out really well. So we got Mold Breaker. So if any of we have it out, and there's a Levitate Mon out there, and we use Earthquake on Garchomp and protect Tinkaton or something, that Levitate Mon's still going to get hit because of the Mold Breakers. That's always nice. Own Tempo. I'm sure we might be able to do a Confusion Own Tempo set. Maybe. And Pickpocket. That could be something I've never really tried the whole Pickpocket thing, but so if we use up a item, we could maybe take an item from somebody. We could definitely try these things out and see how it goes. So we are now pretty much halfway through the draft, and I'm pretty happy with how it's going, even though I had no idea what I wanted to do. And the other half of this draft is going to be the same thing. So the first Pokemon of the second half of the draft I decided to pick up was Moltres. Moltres gives us a fire flying type, so it has some kind of not the greatest weaknesses, with it being weak to water and electric, and then 4 times weak to rock. So we definitely have to work around that. Like I said, it's never good to have really a 4 times weakness, but I think we can do stuff with it. And then with Terra, you pretty much can get rid of anything and make it something else anyways. So base stat of 580, which you would expect, if not more, from a legendary Pokemon. So 90 HP, which isn't bad at all. 100 in attack. We can maybe try to use a physical Moltres and maybe surprise some people. That could be something. 90 defense and 85 in special defense. Can't go wrong. Like I said, we can, with that, with the HP of 90, we can live most hits, probably except for any kind of rock type move. But like I said, we tearing, get rid of that 4 times weakness, and we're golden. 90 in speed, not the fastest, but not the slowest. So we're gonna get out there and we're gonna outspeed a few mons, and we can still do some nice damage with that 125 in special attack. So Moltres is definitely going to be a nice Pokemon. I might have used Moltres before, not 100% sure. I know I used its Galarian form, but I'm not 100% sure if I ever used its Kento form. So with the abilities of Pressure and Flame Body, I think it's going to be an interesting Pokemon to use. And if we do Flame Body and they do a physical attack, there's a chance they get burned. If we bring Pressure, they're gonna go through the moves twice as fast. So it's gonna be nice to try Moltres out. So pick 7. I picked up Chestnut. Chestnut is I forget which which region it is, but it's of course one of the starter Pokemon, and it's grass, and I've always enjoyed the grass type. So Chestnut. Well, I always used to call it Chestnut because I just misread it when I first seen it. So it's probably what's always going to get called. Ability Overgrow like all starter Pokemon, and then his ability Bulletproof. So we're not going to get hit by we can't get hit by moves like Population Bomb or things like that, which I don't think anyone actually drafted the mouse. But still, we're not going to get. We could bring it out, and any of them moves like Rock Blast and that. We don't have to worry about that either. So it's not the greatest ability, but it's still not bad. It being grass fighting definitely brings in the weaknesses. That's probably not the greatest typing at all. And probably why it doesn't get used too much. But it has a weakness to fire, has weakness to ice, poison, 4 times to flying, 2 to psychic, and 2 to fairy. So that definitely does hurt us on the defensive aspect, but we can definitely, I think, still work around that pretty well. It resists water, electric, and grass. Resists ground and rock and dark, so that's always nice. With a base stat of 530, it still meets the plus 500 plus that I like to do. So we have 88 in HP, 107 in attack, 122 in defense, 74 in special attack, 75 in special defense, and 64 in speed. So the 64 in speed, not good at all. I won't lie. That's, in my opinion, terrible speed. Because it's in kind of like that middle thing where it's just over the speed that you want for a Trick Room person, but way under for a regular one. And even if we put Tailwind on, it's still not the greatest speed. Not bad once you get Tailwind, but not the greatest. So I picked that up to kind of because I wanted to use it, like I said, and we can maybe do a Trick Room mode. Because at this moment, when I thought to myself, I don't really have anything for Trick Room. Not at all. So we pick up Chestnut, and we'll work on maybe if someone brings Trick Room, we can always have our own. Sucky thing is he's weak to psychic, and most Trick Room setters are psychic. So we have to. That'll be something we definitely have to work with. But I still think it's a really good mon, and I'm gonna try it, and hopefully it does really well for me. Or hopefully I do really well for it, I should say. So our next Pokemon at pick 8, I picked up Skuntank. I've used Skuntank a couple times actually. Would I say it's a comfortable pick? No, because I'm still, as long as I've done this, I'm still figuring things out. So I picked up Skuntank, won't lie. At this point, I had nothing, and I mean nothing, for ghost types. Ghost kept me neutral all the way down. I didn't have anything that was super effective to ghost, but I didn't have anything that resists or anything. So I was like, what can I get that can still be worthwhile to use and help me with the ghost stuff that I had? So Skuntank it is. Great typing with it being poison dark. It only has a weakness to ground, which I'm able to work around pretty well. It has ability stench, so we always have, if we hit them, is it both or one? I can't remember if it's one or the other or if it's both, but there's always that chance we can get the flinch. Keen Eye, so we can't have actually dropped an Aftermath. If he goes down, whatever HP goes down, that damage gets dealt to, or part of that damage gets dealt to the opponent. That's always nice. It has not bad stats. 479 in its base stats isn't too bad. Pretty close to the 500 mark. HP is 103, which is really well. I like that. It's not bad at all. Defense 67 and 61 with the HP. We're still living some hits, and like I said, we're pretty much neutral or resist everything. And even a ground type move, we can live. In most cases, I would assume. So that was nice. And to get pick 8, I thought it was really well done. So I decided, okay, what am I doing now? I want to try something different. And this next Pokemon is definitely a Pokemon you would. It's not coming every week, but it's something that it's going to be interesting to try, and I've never done it before, and that's Ditto. So the type thing, don't even look. Base stats, not even reason why. I don't even know why I put this here, just to put. It was another tier 4, so we had to use the points. So used 20 points, left us with 10. Ability Limber is never coming. I don't ever care for Limber. I think for Ditto, it's imposter. If not, it was a waste to bring, if you ask me. So we got imposter. So we can be any Pokemon that's cross from Ditto. So that also could help us with ghost weakness we have, and it can help us with a lot of other different things. So I was like, I'm gonna try Ditto. I've never done it, tried it before, and since I had no clue what I was doing with this draft, I thought, hey, what goes perfect with something that you don't know what's gonna do? A Pokemon you don't know what it's gonna be, and it's like, let's do Ditto. So that was it. The next Pokemon I picked up, I was like, at this point, I only have 10 points left and I have my tier 5. So our next two Pokemon are going to be both tier 5s. And I was like, what am I going to pick? Um, I had a couple ones I wanted, but they got picked on me. But in saying that, I still think we did really well. So, pick 10, and our first tier 5, I picked up Bronzor. Um, abilities with Levitate, that helps us with our Disc Quake mode. I can switch him in and don't have to worry about getting hurt. Heat Proof, if I need a fire resist, I can bring, like, it won't actually make a fire resist, but it'll make it so we're not weak to fire anymore. And it'll give us an ice resist, like a 4 times resist ice, I think. No, that's thick fat. Don't listen to me. So just the fire. So we can make it so we resist, not resist, but neutral to fire. So that could be something. Then we got heavy metal. I can't think of a reason to use heavy metal, but maybe somebody can give me a set that might be good with. Um, with Bronzor being a baby Pokemon, oh, you guys just gotta see the last one. With the Pokemon being a baby Pokemon, you can't expect much. And base stat 300, what do you expect? 86 in both defenses is doable with this 57 HP. So I think we can maybe do some stuff with it. But is it a Pokemon I'm going to be using a lot? No. What do you expect from a tier 5? Yes, you do want to try to get a use of all your Pokemon, but I do think Bronzor, there will be times where I do bring it. Often, I don't know. We'll just have to see. So, as you guys already seen it, our last Pokemon I picked up was Rugtrio. Rugtrio is tier 5, used 10 points, so we have 0 left, which makes sense since it's the end of the draft. His ability is gooey, so they hit us. The Pokemon get slower, rattled. Another intimidate thing where you can stop the Pokemon from wanting to bring intimidate. And Sandveil, like I said, probably won't get too often used. Maybe if I'm going up against a sand team, I can bring it, because not too many of our teams Pokemon I would want to have Sandstorm. I'm sure there's a few that can, but I don't think I'd want it on any of them too much. But it is what it is. HP of 130. HP of 35 is terrible. That sucks. Like 35 HP, it is crap. I'm not going to deny it. It's crap. And with defenses of 50 and special defense of 70, we are definitely going to have to think and figure things out to make it so this guy's going to leverage some hits. Can we do it? I'm sure. And it's going to be something that we could try, because I do want to see if I can use Rugtrio. I think it's interesting. Has some interesting moves. Attack of 100 is really nice. And a speed of 120 is really nice as well. We're going to get that. We can definitely get some hits before they can get some hits. So even if we only get one hit, it's not too bad, because it's going to hit decently with 100 attack. So that's our team. So here's kind of more of an overview of the team and how it turned out. And like I said, I wasn't even trying, but yes, I was trying to make sure we could kind of resist stuff for Palaver and Cleavor, because I wanted them to probably be a couple of my main Pokemon I use. And then of course, like, we got the Disc Quake mode with Garchomp and Kilowattrel, which was nice. So I was really happy with when I found out that we're pretty much, for our type weakness, we're pretty much green all the way across the board. Like I said, some of this does change things, like Ditto. you never know what that's going to be, so you can't really go by that at all. And then with tearing, like I said, any Pokemon can become any type, so that's something as well that we can't work with. Do I think I have the best team in the division? No, not even close. There's definitely teams out there that are better than mine. Um, I do think I drafted a pretty a good rounding type of Pokemon that's going to make people have to think when they're prepping for. And that's what I was kind of hoping for at the end. And was just, like I said, I was really happy that I was able to get into this draft because I really didn't think I was going to be able to. Just thought that with life situations, I was going to not be able to do really anything. And this was just made me happy that I was able to do this. So thank you, GLDL, for letting me into this another season of drafts, and I am looking forward to get this draft started. I'm in what was it, Finizen division, and it's going to be a really hard division in my opinion. There's a lot of really good players in it. Some that I've played before and some that I haven't. So should be a fun season, and hopefully I can make it into the playoffs. I've always had not the greatest luck getting into playoffs, always just missing out and things like that. So hopefully we can get us there this season. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we will see you guys when the season starts. But until then, have a great day.